Hi, and a very warm welcome to Wellbeing, Vision Control. Always glad you can join me, especially on such a beautiful day. Sun shining, blue skies, a gentle breeze. Feels good. And I just wondered, have you ever heard the expression, when you're feeling a little bit upset or you're angry and someone says, oh, just breathe? It's not always the most helpful advice, is it? But actually, there are very strong reasons why taking better control of your breathing can have enormous benefits, apart from turning down the stress and reducing your anxiety, even your anger, to tolerable levels. We should perhaps ask ourselves, first of all, why this works, and then we can look at some of the deeper benefits to controlling your breath and using deeper respiration to change how you see the world. Really? Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So the first thing is that part of our evolutionary heritage prepared us to deal with potential predators, big hungry animals out there looking for lunch. And if you ever noticed when a little furry animal gets trapped or cornered, it tends to freeze. We do the same. But its breathing becomes very shallow to make it less visible. And our brains are hardwired to make us less visible. So we develop very shallow breathing, so we're not noticed. What might not be obvious is that if you adopt shallow breathing, and to be fair, most of the people I look at around me all the time have very shallow breathing, this reinforces the stress response. It makes us feel anxious and afraid. You can see it in people's body language and their attitude and the way that they are dealing with life. So, the moment that we begin to breathe more deeply, you send a very powerful signal to the brain that whatever danger you felt you were facing has just passed. So we can return to normal, efficient functioning. And one of the triggers is deeper breathing. And it's something that I would highly recommend. I know there are lots of apps saying just breathe, but what we might have forgotten is that over thousands of years of experimentation, humans have discovered that breath control can help us to change the way, not just how we think and feel, but also to change physiological responses. We can change our metabolism, we can influence the hormone system. Even the endocrine system can be influenced by breathing. But it can go further. When you learn to breathe more deeply, your perception changes. When you learn how to breathe rhythmically and more deeply, your conventional moment by moment perception shifts, and you can experience a much deeper state of awareness. It's as if you have a key to unlock deeper states of consciousness. The problem that I have discovered in working with people in this particular area is that because our breathing is so shallow, we find it quite challenging to make the breath deeper. People say, oh my goodness, I can't hold my breath, I can't take a deep breath. So it might take a little bit of practice. And the watchword is comfortable. However much you are able to fill your lungs, the throat has to stay relaxed. As soon as your throat starts to tense, you're full. So you don't need to strain the lungs. You don't need to put a lot of pressure. Just breathe a little more deeply, hold the breath for a few moments, and breathe out all the way. See how it feels to... Oh, so we've got a visitor. Yeah, we got squirrels, red and grey squirrels running up and down the fences all the time. Actually, I've got strawberries growing in the corner over there, and they love to raid the strawberry patch. But getting back to breathing, just want you to know that, getting back to breathing, this ability to slow down the breathing but make each breath deeper triggers wonderful responses, not just in your body but also in your mind. And you can use it to perform all kinds of interesting techniques, such as giving yourself positive suggestions, because we are more suggestible when we get into this more relaxed state. You can tell yourself that you're feeling strong, balanced, confident, awake, ready to sleep. You can tell yourself you're going to sleep really deeply and perhaps even have wonderful dreams. We are open to that very, very powerful kind of input whilst we're using deeper, simple, powerful, controlled breathing. It's rather strange in our world that we are so distracted by things like social media that we forget that the body that you live in has a fantastic heritage. We have all kinds of abilities hardwired into our system. And when we begin to breathe more carefully in a controlled way, using rhythms for breathing in, breathing out, we can achieve very predictable results. If you'd like to learn more about that, I'll be very happy to share some of the few things that I've learned. But they are a key part of this process of improving the quality of our health, raising our state of well-being, but also taking better control of the mind. So instead of the mind racing all around the place in panic and chaos, the thoughts become quieter, the system becomes still. And in that state, everything is revealed. I'd love to know, do you think you'd like to know more about it? I'd be very happy to discuss it with you. But breathing is more than a well-meaning friend's advice that you should just take it easy. Yeah, it's another squirrel. It's not the same one, just in case you're curious. Please feel free to share your comments with me. I'm always delighted to hear from you. I look forward to being back with you again very soon. In the meantime, have a wonderful day.